I'm a driving instructor and I got arrested for what happened in the passenger seat. Vicky was my worst driving student in 12 years. She failed her driving test 3 times and blamed everyone but herself. During our last lesson, she was texting when I looked up and saw a minivan full of kids stopped at a crosswalk directly ahead of us. I screamed for her to stop and my arm flew out across her chest on instinct half a second before she plowed into them. My arm was the only thing that kept her from going through the windshield because I looked down and she had unbuckled her seatbelt. She shoved me off and said, "Don't touch me, perv," with venom that made no sense. I told her I just saved her life and she needed more practice before I could give her a passing score. She got inches from my face. "You're going to regret this," she said, and walked out. The next morning, 2 officers put me in handcuffs in front of my students. She told them I groped her, and the story spread through town before I even made bail. I told the officers about the dash cam footage on the drive to the station, and they stared straight ahead like I hadn't said anything. By the time I was given a court date and allowed to leave, my wife was at the kitchen table refusing to look at me. I told her everything, including the footage that would prove it, and she nodded slowly, but something in her eyes had changed. "Why would she make that up?" she asked, and I didn't have an answer that satisfied her. My daughter Jenny came home sobbing because someone spray-painted PDF files kid on her locker, and the vice principal made her clean it off herself. I called the school to complain, and the secretary cut me off. "Sir, given the circumstances, I don't think you should be making demands." I said there was footage, and she said, "I'm sure there is," in a voice that meant she didn't believe a word. Parents canceled their kids' driving lessons, and I called each one back, explaining that dash cam would clear everything up. One father laughed at me. "Footage can be edited. My daughter's not getting in a car with you." I went to my wife's sister's house to explain in person, and she wouldn't open the door more than a crack. "There's dash cam footage of the whole thing," I said, and she looked at me like I was pathetic.